I'm here in my car today, and I'm a good, 35 weeks pregnant? I'm just trying to figure out. When we knew we were going to have another baby, we got this car with the third row, which is kind of the gold standard. Like, if you've got 3 kids, you can't fit another seat here, right? Like, you've got the seat situation. The baby needs like a big seat. The toddler needs a bigger seat. Like a kind of armchair style with like a high back. And then the older kid, she's 5, but she still needs a seat that's about this size. And I've just spent about 45 minutes playing car seat Tetris with these because and it's not fun, right? I'm 35 weeks pregnant trying to lift this, and this base is metal, right? It's not light. Neither of these are light seats. You might ask why I'm doing this on my own. I just thought I could, I'm an independent woman. I used to be an engineer. Like, I can definitely do this myself. But now I'm looking at it and I'm like, where is my oldest child going to sit? Like, if me and my husband are driving in the front seats, I've taken this one down because I realized that, let me show you. My oldest cannot get over this, right? Even if there was space for her booster seat to sit in here. So this is the booster seat. It's called a booster cushion. This is a cushion style booster seat that the 5-year-old sits in. And it can fit here, right? Pretend the seat is up. Like, it could fit here. But she wouldn't be able to get to it because she has to get past these big Isofix legs. Okay, like, imagine her having to climb over that seat, over her sibling, every time she gets in the car. And just forget it on this side, right? Like, look at that. So either she's going to be sitting in the front with me, which is not that safe, by the way, or if me and my husband are both occupying both front seats, then she's going to have to go in the third row, which is why that's why we got the third row. It's so that she can sit here. But then, like, how is she going to get in, right? Like, is she going to have to come into the car, like, through here? And don't get me wrong, she loves it, but, like, is this how you're supposed to do it? Like, we got this car for our family because we got 3 kids. Like, 3 kids is not an extraordinary number of children. Like, I was one of 3. But even with a car with 7 seats, it seems like it's not really feasible. Like, we're going to do it. We'll make it work. But I'll tell you the punchline. The punchline is that my 5-year-old is not actually legal to sit in this seat. Even she's 5 years old, she can't sit in this. They changed the law in 2017 so that you now have to be 125 centimeters to sit in a seat this style, the one that doesn't have a back. So really, she should be sitting one with a back. The only reason that she is sitting in this one is because this one was manufactured before 2017. We got it just free secondhand. The car seats that are manufactured before 2017 are still legal to sit in for children. I think it's below anything above 110 centimeters. That's the only way we're making this work, is that we're actually breaking the law to the current law. Technically, we're sticking to the letter of the law because this seat was manufactured before, but the only reason we have this seat is because we got it secondhand from another parent. But really, she should be sitting in a seat that looks like a bit more like this, or something of, just imagine something of approximately that size, right? If we were strictly following the law and buying all these car seats new, she should be sitting in something like that, which won't even fit here in the third row. We have another one here. But you'll also see how much boot space we have with the third row now occupied by my oldest child. So I just wanted to make this video because I don't know if you remember recently, I think it was during the 2024 elections, J.D. Vance's comments about car seats from a few years ago resurfaced by a bunch of journos who wanted to discredit him and call him some sort of weird crank, because he suggested that families were making like family planning decisions based on car seat laws. And he was probably, I don't know what the laws are like in the United States, but here the laws changed in 2017. And even then, I think it's kind of a difficult situation to work around. When I was growing up in the 90s, I had 2 older brothers, and it certainly wasn't anything like this. You know, there was baby seats, right? The seats are just for babies. I remember giving a lift to someone and telling them, oh yeah, you just I'll have to move that seat for you. And then he's going like, what, you've got your 5-year-old sits in a car seat? Like, this guy was raised in the 90s like me, and he's just like, why does your 5-year-old need a car seat? And obviously car safety is really important. I don't want anyone to be getting injured or dying in a car crash, least of all children. But it does, I don't know what the, I think it's also reasonable to say that parents are making decisions about whether they can afford to have a child based on this kind of situation, right? Like they have a car, they need to get around. And then just the impracticality of every time you're, having to keep track of how old your kid is, how tall they are and how heavy they are, whether they need to go up a seat. And then every time they go up a seat, you need to find a new one. You can't sell them secondhand. You can't buy or sell them secondhand legally because it's not considered safe. Obviously, there is a kind of grey market for parents who are just trying to get rid of their seats or trying to make a few pounds off of a secondhand seat. But just like managing the seats as well. Like if you need to go to B&Q, you have to go to a hardware shop to buy something large or buy some furniture. If you've got a car like mine, you might want to use some of the space. Put these seats down, and actually use this space to transport your furniture, or what you're shopping or whatever. And you've got to lift these very, very heavy seats out of the car, and they if you see how big this carport is, you see how the doors. You can fully open the door on one side, but on the other side, the door barely opens enough to get this through, making the job even harder. And remember that a lot of women like me are doing it on their own. I mean, obviously, I'm grateful that I have a husband who could help me if I was sensible enough to ask for help. But a lot of women won't have that kind of immediate help on hand to do this, and they, pregnant women with kids, like how are they supposed to lift this? Move it around just on a not a daily basis, but on a basis. You have to move these seats in and out of the car. And between, you've got multiple cars in a family, you have to take it from one car to another car quite frequently. Getting grandparents to help with childcare involves often the kids having to sit in the grandparents' car. They need a car seat, or you need to move it on a regular basis. Move the car seat to their car every time they go around their house. And equally, someone who's getting into their 50s, 60s, even 70s and 80s is not going to have a very good time moving these seats about, finding a space for it. If you put it down on the ground, you have to lift it from the ground to get it up into the car. It's not easy. Anyway, I'm just griping now, but I think about those JD Vance comments all the time about car seats, and how just how hard it is on parents, and how flippant people were to say oh, they're so silly that car seat laws would affect the number of kids people are having. That's such a silly thing to say. And yeah, I guess if you're saying that we should make a compromise between car safety and the fertility rate of the country, then if you're taking that natural next step, then perhaps that's a rather controversial thing to say. But in terms of just saying that the number of children that people have is determined by how big their car is and how many car seats they can fit in it, it's it makes sense, and I think about that all the time. All right, sorry for the weird off the cuff handheld camera video. I'll get back to making normal videos again soon. Thanks for watching my weird rambling thoughts, as always, and please leave your comments below.